Wow. Good evening. I can remember in the spring of 1984, standing in the front hall at Brooks Hall, studying photos that were cast on the wall facing the library. Those photos, and I studied them a lot in that spring, were recent winners of the Terry College of Business Distinguished Alumni Award. I even remember the names of most of those people. Or names like Knox, Seelig, Blanchard, Tarkington, Bradley, Harris, and Busby. I'd sit there and study all of those names, and I'd wonder exactly what all those people did to become so successful, what their path to success were, what attributes allowed them to be so successful. And I didn't really know anybody who was a successful businessman at age 22, so I just studied them in awe. I'd love to tell you, at 22, I dreamed, but I didn't really. But in any event, I stand here tonight, I'm definitely an alum, I don't feel so distinguished, so it's hard to describe exactly how meaningful it is to get an award like this. What better honor than to get an award from your university? It couldn't get better than this. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. There's just a couple of points I want to make, and I would say they're primarily oriented to the students in this room. There's an amazing number of students, which has been a great change, I think, in this event over the years. But I would say first, let's be fair. No award winner has stood on this stage tonight or any other night, nor largely have they achieved anything in business unless they really stood on the shoulders of others who came before them, others who mentored them, lifted them up, supported them, trained them, and loved them. And so don't be confused. For every single successful business person in this room, and they're an amazing number, along the way, some person, some group of persons reached out and took an interest in those individuals. Don't ever let anyone believe you or convince you otherwise. As a young person, as you heard in the video, I had family and teachers and preachers. As a student, you had professors and peers. As a young Army officer, I had captains and majors and lieutenant colonels, but most importantly, I had staff sergeants and first sergeants who really trained me how to do my job. At Anderson, I had mentors and partners. Even today, I have a lot of partners, I have advisors, we have board members, and most importantly, I have friends. It's all these relationships that allow me or anyone else to accomplish all the things that I've been so fortunate to do. I mentioned lifting. Well, certainly I have a family that's lifted me. They've adjusted to all my peculiar habits and behaviors. They've lived with all my ups and downs. They listen, unfortunately, to my continuous advocacy of change and always moving and shifting and doing things that are different. And they've loved me regardless at every step along the way. There's my mother, who's been my biggest fan for 51 years. There are these three amazing boys, Taylor, Cole, and Banks. They all have these big, helpful, loving, happy hearts. They're these brilliant, beautiful girls that they choose. And all the young people, they keep me relevant and happy and engaged most every single day. And there's Lisa, who's my partner for life and in life. Thank you. And after almost 28 years of being married, I am so tired of hearing her say she's never won a trophy, even as a little girl. This trophy's for you tonight, baby. Second, I think especially for the students, I think we all need to remember that this award tonight is all about business accomplishments. You know, certainly there are a lot higher callings in life than commerce. There are those who are in the ministry, there are those who teach, there are those who practice medicine, there are missionaries, and there are those who act as elected government officials, all sacrificing for others. You know, I remember in Anderson years ago when I thought the world all revolved around me. I was running around on a really hectic day, and my assistant said, she screamed actually, and she said, "Son, slow down. We're not saving lives here." I think about that every day, and it's so true. We don't save lives in business. So we could justify commerce as some type of higher calling if we talked about job creation or entrepreneurship or the importance of capitalism. But the reality of it is we would just be trying to convince ourselves how important what we do every day really is. The reality is commerce is only really a higher calling if we use it to empower and help others and to give back. And it's especially important for us to give back to those places and those institutions that enable the very opportunities that we've had ourselves. That brings us to this amazing university. On that day in September of 1980, when I moved all my belongings, including my grandmother's hand-me-down vinyl recliner chair, into room 305 Millage Hall, I didn't really understand that the University of Georgia was this great and special place, or that the Terry College of Business was this great and special place. I actually think that it takes a history and perspective to really understand those things. Maybe you only appreciate them when you've had that experience yourself, or you really see how the University of Georgia changes lives. You know, and this is a bit personal, but there are some things that really make me love the University of Georgia. You see, it is Southern, and that's really good. It has history, tradition, has pageantry. It's a place where manners and relationships still matter. Yes, sir, and no, ma'am garner respect, and relationships are allowed and fostered, much like many of those that I sense and see and feel in this room tonight. It's modern, and at the University of Georgia and the Terry College, we train all these great, young, a diverse group of people, and then we cast them out into the world, you know what, and they can compete with the very best and brightest around the globe. The university and Terry College is iconic in a state that so needs a leader, in a region with so much opportunity, in a country that stands at important crossroads. So you see, UGA and Terry are magical and important institutions are the pillars of our society. You know, with two sons at UGA, and hopefully Banks, another, I feel a greater emotional attachment to the University of Georgia and Terry than I ever have. Terry and UGA, they were great equalizers in my life, enabled the outcome of my life, and I believe that the Terry College will be an important part of who my sons become, and hopefully even their children. I do know that the University of Georgia enables and provides an education experience, including my sons, those that they're close to, and all the other students here, that really allows, as Bob Dylan wrote in Forever Young, he wrote a song to his children and actually sang, to build a ladder to the stars, to have busy hands, to have swift feet, and a strong foundation, to be joyful, to be strong, to be courageous, and to live so that their songs will always be sung. How much better could it be than that? So in closing, this is an award for the work that I have done. I'm just getting started. I don't want you to think I'm done. I still have this fire and this ambition to do more, and I can do more. And years from now, when you hear my name, I hope that you think good thoughts, I hope you smile, and are still proud. Thank you.